Welcome back everybody to another Auto World Zone video from IKMA 2025, and I think this might be the most beautiful motorcycle at the whole show. This is the new Brutale Serie Oro, and what I will say is, despite the fact that it does look rather exotic and it probably will be quite expensive, there are some changes to talk about that should actually make it a better all-rounder out on the road. So in this video we'll go through all the details with everything that you need to know about it. I think one of the big changes is the engine. You see previous Brutales like the 800RR, something like that. They're very high revving and so they're extremely fun, but you really have to stretch the legs in order to make the most of them out on the road. So for me, it's very welcome news that this gets a larger 950 triple that's basically inherited or carried over from their Enduro Veloce adventure bike. That said, this isn't a dull, torquey, low-end motor out of, an adventure tourer, because it's the Evo version of their 950 triple, a new version with a bit more pep, and so it makes 148 horsepower at 11,200 RPM, which is bags of power for a relatively slender bike like this. Now, for reference, that peak power being made at 11,000-ish RPM, that's quite a bit lower than the 12,000 of the 800RR, and also peak torque 107 Nm at 8,400, again, is made much lower than the 800RR, which made its peak torque a well over 10,000 RPM. On top of all that, though, I think one of the key areas they focused on is making that torque available all across the rev range. And so they say 85% of it is available right down from 3,500 RPM. And so this bike should feel like it's got a heck of a lot of mid-range, as opposed to some of their other bikes where they're a little bit flat lowering the revs and then really come alive when you wind them up. I think this is going to be a fantastic ride out on the road, but before we get onto the chassis, I just want to say a massive thanks to Kalamoto for supporting the channel and sponsoring all of our IKMA coverage. Now, we've got 25 of these tickets to give away, golden tickets with a 12-month free premium membership, and so if you can find us at the show, if you're here, do say hello, and if we've got one left, we'll happily hand one over to you. For everyone else, though, there's a 10% discount code down in the description below. So do check that out. And Kalamoto, if you're not aware, is a motorcycle-specific navigation app. So it doesn't just take you down the boring straight routes, but it uses their own dedicated in-house algorithm to seek out the best twisties. That means you can make brilliant motorcycle routes in their app or on their web planner. And so, like I say, check out the link in the description below for a 10% discount. Now, this road bias that I'm talking about with the engine actually does continue over to the chassis with a new frame. It's still a steel trellis, so it's definitely got that pizzazz in the looks, but they say they've re-engineered it for better rigidity and also a little bit less weight. Both those things will help to keep this bike light on its feet, to keep it agile, to keep it engaging. But at the same time, they've made the wheelbase longer and made the swing arm longer in order to give it a better balance, I suppose, of that flickability and engagement, but then also with some stability that should help to make it, nice and pleasant to use even when you're not going flat. Out MV, in their own words, describe it as neutral but razor sharp, and so I'm hoping it's as good as they promise out on the road. Now, being the Serie Oro spec, this is like a limited edition, a 300 bike run, I guess, to introduce this new platform. Normally, when they announce a new bike MV, they do the Serie Oro first, and so it normally has like the best of the best in terms of componentry, and that's exactly what you'll get here. So we've got an fork, an NIX 3043mm upside down fork. It's got a low friction coating, it's fully adjustable, and then also fully adjustable TTX 36 shock at the rear. As for the braking, we've got Brembo's latest high pure calipers. These are like the top dog calipers now that have replaced the style, and we're seeing them on more and more of the top-end bikes this year, and they should be absolutely up to spec. They're on nice big 320mm discs, 17-inch wheels front and rear, and they are on Pirelli Diablo Rosso 4 tires, which are a sort of sporty all-rounder for the street. Now, I didn't see a seat height in the press release for this bike, but I assume it comes in around 820 or 830. It'll be a slightly sporty riding position. But again, they say they've tried to adapt it to make it more balanced and easy to use. With changes like the handlebars, which have gone up and a little bit forward. It's that idea of making it more comfortable but also preserving the sportiness which can make a bike like this so fun to ride. The grips are also wider, the bars are wider, so they say it's got a little more leverage. They've also changed the angle of those grips a little bit, and the seat is completely redesigned for a more comfortable shape. 20 mil wider at the front, 40 mil wider at the back, 40 mil longer at the back as well, and they've also extended that generosity to the passenger with a 20 mil wider pillion seat. Both get better padding, so it should be a little more cushy. And then the pegs have also been moved back and up, which I suppose is to, counteract that handlebar position move, which is forward and up. So you're rotating the rider around the seat a little bit. And so, hopefully it preserves a little bit of space for your legs and keeps things nice and comfy. Lastly, on the ergonomics, there's a new tank shape. They say it's been reshaped for better grip. And so, of course, if you are riding quicker and you want to hang on with your legs and take some of the pressure out your arms, then hopefully it's a little better for that too. Tech comes in the form of a 5 and TFT dash. 5 riding modes, so rain, urban, sport, race, and custom. Each of these affects the level of ABS, the level of traction control, the wheelie control, the engine braking, and also the throttle map. And that's all powered by an inertial measurement unit to make the rider aids lean sensitive. ABS, for example, is Corning ABS. It's got 3 different modes. We've got a quick shifter, up and down quick shifter as well. And then also some slightly more modern features or more cutting-edge features like a bending headlight, so a cornering headlight to illuminate the inside of a turn. Sometimes these can be a bit bulky or like a little bit clumsily integrated into the front of our bike. But this one looks nice and neat with it set right in the middle of a big round headlight. It looks every bit as good as any other MV Agusta. Then they've also built in a GPS, and so it's got anti-theft. It's got crash detection, and also you can connect with the MV app for all of your connectivity features. Absolutely beautiful, this bike. I think everyone can agree it's every bit the MV style, but it does have a bit more presence perhaps than the 800s. It looks a little filled out. And then the Sororo in the red, the silver, the Alcantara saddle in red, the gold wheels, a bit of gold on the frame, and it's all finished off perfectly with that Termain I-triple exhaust down the side there, which is just the sort of flair and designability that we've rightly come to expect from MV Agusta over the years. Now, no price unfortunately on this one as of yet, but I think it's fair to say that this is not going to be a high volume, bike for everyone. This is going to be up at the top of their price range. And so with Serra road bikes that we've seen in the past, you're looking at 25, 30k and beyond. So look, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. And would you take this bike, or is there something else more beautiful that we've covered in the past week here at IKMA? In fact, I'll put on the screen now our playlist with all of our videos so you can have a look and peruse to all the best bikes from the show. Do check out that code down in the description if you want 10% discount for Kalamoto. Hit subscribe as well for all the videos as soon as they go live. A massive thanks for watching this one, and hopefully we'll see you in the next